this piece, that it's trying to critique postmodernism practices and modernism practices in culture, but not trying to take a subject in specific theme or subject.
Thank you.
Cool.
Okay, I'm going to come here and stay with me. See, the guy is not so Azucena, I think it was wonderful to see this inspiration of young artists at this age and encourage them to continue because there is a possibility for the future. And one of the great things about the arts, right? The arts will tell people's story. Tell you a story of the people that the traditions rather, and Azucena has done that in this piece. In one little painting, she's telling you an entire historical concept of what's happening in this Bicentenario. So, would you like to say something?
Yes. I painted this with acrylic paint, and it's sort of a representation of sort of like how the little girl is sort of reflecting on Mexican history, the history of Mexico, and what happened in like what happened on Independence Day. So we have here Hidalgo and the bell that brought us liberty, and it's this little girl with the Mexican flag draped over her shoulders, and I made the reflection because it's sort of how the little girl is reflecting on that. And I just wanted to deep dive deeper into the history of my culture.
Thank you. Let's see, I don't see her here. Now, I'm going to tell you that one of the things that's interesting about this show is the ability some of these artists have to use the material in a spectacular way. Now, this is oil, a small oil painting that we've done. And the minute I saw it, I thought, now who thought the silver paint in this manner? This fantastic. A lot of the young artists, a lot of the well-known artists that are coming to visit the show later, I had said, talk to a lot of these artists who are doing this spectacular work and encourage them to continue. And you need to continue because you might be one of those that we need to buy this right now. Tell us about your work. She's the second youngest in the show.
I know that's good. Overall, about myself. I know that mine doesn't really fit it, but I just, whenever I see like a movie, I feel like the really fun connections to emotions, I'm like instantly inspired to, oh, I need to paint this because look how much emotion it's showing. So I don't know. I something that I feel a lot in my artwork is expressing emotion, but I really like this thing in the movie.
It's fabulous.
No.
I'm looking it up and I'm going to go with you now. Okay? You have a really powerful piece. This is important piece for all of us to contemplate. This is about femicide in Mexico and around the world. Femicide has become during the pandemic, it has increased all over the world for children and women. And I think what you've done, Paula, is quite amazing. She's going to tell us about that. But the minute I saw it, I thought, I'm so glad that a young woman took this theme on during this event, because it's very, very important for us to not only read about it, but to participate with her and understand it and where it's coming from. So tell us a little bit about your installation.
So there is actually a series for movement. One program meeting with the paper and also document. This is actually me, self-portrait, and I pose with the jewelry and glasses on my camera. Just to represent how this trauma, the trauma that we leave this woman passes through the generation. Here I actually represent the cultural and historical values that women hold to Mexico. And also I put some of the letters from my family, the traumas and stuff they've gone through as women. You can read it. I actually wanted Lauren to also add the piece, but because it's totally it's not possible. But encouraging with this piece of art to women to make places. And yeah, like this actually process are representing the one who died from homicide. Kind of like the or not could be like representing. Thank you. I don't know if this artist is here. Is she right?
It's not here yet.
No, we're gonna leave that then. And we're gonna go over, let's see, who are the artists here? So we know. Which one? Oh, you're from Art Center. Oh, great. This is the first time I've seen it done already. Vanessa's on the way. Now, where is Vanessa going to school? Back to the top, right? Is an amazing art center that was founded when
I believe it was 20 years ago, 25 years ago.
the professor are from ex-professors from the Pasadena Art Center. And they did this center for a lot of Latino artists to help them get into colleges and art centers around in really Los Angeles, right?
Yeah, it's for youth that are kind of displaced, like you didn't go straight into college cards. So it's for ages 18 to 26. So all the people who are kind of aged out of like their high school program, college program.
It's a fabulous opportunity. If you've never been, you should go visit as a young artist. It's also a fabulous place to see some of the shows, and it has some of the top professors in California and visiting artists from around the world that visit and give talks. Anywhere from filmmakers to printmakers to designers, and so it's worth seeing. And Vanessa, is the new. You're the dedicada. You're the new.
Yeah, the program.
So there's the girl you have to talk to tonight. Tell us about your piece.
Okay, so my piece is called The Abundance of Duality. So basically, it's a self-portrait. It's me. It's acrylic on canvas. And I chose these colors because they're very contrasting. But basically, it's about me being very vulnerable and living between the duality of a lot of things. So you know, bicultural, I'm both Mexican and Salvadorian, so living in that world. Also, just living in a very chaotic time, trying to find that serene peace within myself, to know that there's abundance in the world, because it always feels like we're always struggling, we're always surviving. But there's plenty to go around, so do not be excluded with that. We can all succeed, all grow together, and be happy. Yeah. I feel like we're just all kind of floating in chaos, but just find our peace and
Great, thank you.
So if you want, we can go to the other room for the opening, the real opening of the event, and then we will continue with this group with every piece and every artist.
Welcome to the Mexican Consulate. We're honored to be here today in the fourth edition of the 35 por 35 initiative. When I arrived here in 2019, Cynthia was already here and she took over the Centro Cultural Cinematográfico de este consulado. And she told me, you know, Consul, there is a very important initiative, 35 por 35. Because this is an opportunity for all emergent creators or young artists to be, you know, supported by us, the institution, the Consulate General, and of course, now we have the curator, Marieta Berstock. Thank you so much, Marieta, for all the work that you have done. But I really want to recognize, we are a team here. Everybody here at the Consulate, we do all the best we can to support the community, not just providing citizen services, but also promoting your artists here in Los Angeles, as Marieta said, in a city where everybody's struggling, but everybody is so creative. So yes, we are a team, but I really want to recognize the work that Cynthia Prida has done, because she has been committed to make this a success. So I will just give the prizes, but I would like you to say something, Cynthia, because I know there you put your heart in it. And afterwards, if you can say something, Marieta. Okay.
Thank you very much. I do agree that we are a team. I just can say that, yes, this exhibition is very close to our heart because it is about supporting artists, supporting young creators. We believe that they need to be acknowledged, and we are very proud of the big pool of Mexican artists, Latino artists that are here in LA, and of some other nationalities. Every time I knock the door of my boss to say, we have this initiative, we want to do this, I cannot tell you how much she is very eager to support this. I think her heart is as well with you, with artists, because she knows how it is important for Mexico. Mexico is a cultural power in the world, and we want to be acknowledged by that, to continue being acknowledged by that. So this is a way to show who we are. This is a way to celebrate our bicentennial. This piece behind, it's amazing, you know, it's like papel picado, but at the same time, it's the way it's called the biggest spreader. It's COVID-19, it's touching one or the other. So it's celebrating Mexico in this bicentennial, but in a very creative manner. It's telling us the special time that we're living. So thank you very much. We know these special times are very difficult for artists, but we are doing our best to support you. And the most important part of this exercise is that we have a very well-established curator. If we didn't have a curator who knows what he's doing and has the knowledge to present, select the best artworks, this exercise wouldn't have the content it has. So every single piece that is here has a reason to be exhibited today. So thank you very much, Marietta Bernstorff, for being here and for accepting being our curator for this show.
I'd also like to thank these two fabulous women. Okay, women. Cónsul General, it's a pleasure to be here in your location. And Cynthia, you're incredible. You've got more energy than the little rabbit, you know, the commercial, you know, the one that never ended. That's her. I mean, she's committed. And that's what this is about. It's commitment. What I'm really thrilled about, and I just want to say, is all you young people who participated. Because you made a commitment to something. That's the most important step to take. I know some of you, it's the first time. And it's the beginning of something wonderful to come. You have to be committed, you have to be passionate about it, and you have to endure. And you have to, no matter what happens, you have to keep going and tell us your story through your artwork, what you're saying. There's some wonderful, wonderful works here. Everyone, we'd love to give a prize to everyone, but we've selected just a few. And I'd like to also mention, because Cynthia said, if some of your friends that you invited who've been a long time developing the art scene in Los Angeles, and I have spotted a few that have arrived that you should know about. I'd like to first tell you about el juez atrás, el señor Armando Durón, who is one of the most important collectors in Los Angeles, who has pushed and promoted and has one of the marvelous collections that you can see of artists from all ages and ranges, and has been struggling to make that a presence in Los Angeles, aside from being a very important judge and a lawyer. So we have to make sure that you young people, if you get a chance and you want to show them your work, this is a one-in-a-lifetime chance. Another one is an incredible printmaker that's here, a Mexicano of tradition, Francesco Siqueiros from Nopal Press, who has been extremely active in Los Angeles, working with some of the most important people in printmaking. So all those who are into printmaking, that's the guy you need to talk to. Very important and important figure, all these people that are doing it. There's also, we have someone here in filmmaking, Bill Magolis, who is here, who's an important documentary filmmaker, and he's been working in many projects in Mexico. That's where we met, in Oaxaca. And so this is a chance for many of you who, we have a young filmmaker. I want to make sure I mention that you go see the film, the experimental film that's in this particular room.
Companies conversation with other consuls from Latin America. And I said, I asked them, how can we really support all these young artists? So they are not in Hollywood already, but what can we do?
Barry, I stopped the recording. Barry, can you hear me? Barry? No, I'm here. Barry, hi. I stopped the recording. I can't hear you. Barry.
Okay, I'm going to leave according to Barry.
Sí, ya, porque se fue tu voz totalmente, entonces me cambié a la cámara de Barry.
Okay, donde,
Or how you did it. It's what you're doing now and how you present yourself. Being humble is one of the hardest things for artists to do, right, Bill? And it's the hardest thing, but you have to know how to do it because curators, collectors, and everyone around, that's important to know. Even if you're advanced more than others, or if you're just starting off, being humble, being, really appreciating it, especially in these times where art is having such a difficult time surviving. So think about these things that I'm telling you, because I've been around a long time. It'll come back and get you one of these days. Okay, tell us about your work. It's fabulous.
Thank you. My piece, Damaged in Love 2, is a part of a 3-painting series. The other 2 are wood panels. This here is a stretched canvas that was actually painted over a painting that was given to me. It was like, she doesn't want to do this painting anymore, do it over. So I know that's kind of like sad to hear, but I did what I did, and this piece is a lot about my visual wits and what I think about on a daily, and it's kind of my visual interpretation of those thoughts. Very sporadic and very all over the place. I used scraps from my undergrad. I'm in grad school right now. I go to Otis, but for my undergrad, I did have a bunch of sketches and older pieces that I had not figured a use for until this piece. So it's a compilation of pretty much and a documentation of my undergrad experience. So my feelings, my emotions, the result of undergrad is in here. And so all of these pieces that are embedded inside are part of the process.
Woo!
Thank you.
Thank you.
the room, raise your hand. Where are you? Oh, you got a beautiful little piece. Yeah. Okay. This is a wonderful little piece. I'm not even going, if we don't hurry up, we'll lose everybody. Tell us about your piece. It's wonderful.
¿Te puedo decir en español?
Claro.
Ah, bueno. Mi pieza se llama Sororidad, que en inglés sería Sisterhood. Mi pieza, este es un tributo a las mujeres que luchan por todas nosotras. Cuando supe de la exposición del consulado, que era sobre la independencia de México, y creo que nosotras como mujeres hemos logrado tanta independencia, y ahorita en México, por todas las cuestiones de los feminicidios, se han hecho tantas manifestaciones, y se está viendo últimamente el apoyo, la solidaridad entre mujeres, cómo nos estamos apoyando y exigiendo al gobierno mejoras, ¿no? Por todas, porque lo que luchamos por una, luchamos por todas y queremos por todas, y queremos que todas las mujeres estemos a salvo, que puedan salir a la calle sin sentirse con miedo a desaparecer. Entonces, cuando supe que era como sobre la independencia, y para mí, la independencia incluye a todas nosotras. Entonces, pues es un tributo a todas las mujeres que peleamos. Gracias.
Antes de que seguimos,
Encantada. Estamos en vivo, entonces por eso tenemos que seguir con otra. Ahorita hablamos.
Ya sé cómo es esto. Okay, who's the next one in here who has a piece? Raise your hand if you have a piece here. ¿Alguien tiene una pieza aquí como artista? Ya, tú el tuyo ya. Por eso te puse el primero, porque ya sabía que sabía. ¿Tú tienes una pieza? Where? Okay, yes, it's only one. Yes. Which one? Yes. Vamos a ir con él aquí. Okay, excuse me. Here we are with Jason. Jason, tell us about this important piece that really marks our time here right now in the United States.
So this picture was taken in Poinsettia Park in West Hollywood. I decided to go out on my bicycle. I think it was with my girlfriend. We both decided just to go see the protest. And I think it was one of those beautiful experiences when you see everyone unite for just one cause. The death of George Floyd, police brutality, people of color, disproportionate events created a trickle of anger, joy, sadness, and just a moment where I saw the youth that felt like they had no future, and they knew at that moment we can make our futures. And that's what I captured, and I take no credit for an image, but I take credit for being a part of this group of people, this one microcosm of energy that just wanted to express themselves for that day and for days.
One of the most important of the mediums, right? Painting, sculptural, photography. Mexico has a huge history in photography. And the whole culture of the Latino population in Los Angeles has a huge history in photography. We can go into some major artists that have been here before you, documenting the history of Los Angeles, like Ricardo Valverde, exactly, 60-year-old brain kind of explodes down. And other people like Luis Bernal, like Laura Aguilar. These are important. So when you see someone who makes an effort to work with the medium and tell us the story of the moment, It's important to back you up and continue your great work. That you say you're a fashion photographer. So there you go. There's for those that are interested in that. That's wonderful. Good luck with all your efforts.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's go over there.
Vamos a decirle ahora. Dile, avísale a Barry.
Who else?
¿Se pueden comprimir un poquito más?
Okay.
O hacer media luna.
Sí.
Media luna para que sea.
I don't know what.
Not at the same time.
Maybe a third row.
Looking this way and you guys looking this way.
Let's go together.
So get together. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be good. You'll have to take it a couple of okay, please don't come more from
Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna. Michelle, can you squat a little so we don't block her? Thank you.
Okay, okay.
Pero
Oh, Isabel.
su cabecita sale, maestra.
Se dice, ¿qué? Mezcal o tequila.
Porque la señora sí, que baje la cabecita. Se tiene que agachar. How about we take turns?
Yeah.
Okay.
Next.
Make sure you put this up in your Facebook, Instagram pages, all that good stuff. The exhibit is up for a month, so take advantage of it. Please.
You look great.
¿Podría bajar cartera?
Ahorita me las mandas.
Okay, es que no estoy tomando.
Okay.
Le estaba diciendo.
Ya. Te amo, mi vida. Felicidades. Lo hiciste muy bien.
Estoy pueden decir.
¿Seguimos?
Seguimos.
Gracias.
Felicidades. Which are your pieces?
These two right here.
Oh, they are beautiful.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
So, are you an emerging artist, or have you been in other shows?
No, this is actually my first show. I'm with grad student at CGU.
At where?
CGU, Claremont Graduate University.
Wow. And what are you studying?
I'm sorry?
What are you studying?
What am I studying?
Uh-huh.
Art. I'm getting my MFA.
We're gonna talk to this artist over here.
Congratulations. All right. So, your life.
Very powerful work.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Tell me what generation you are.
I'm sorry?
Mexican American generation.
Third
Third generation. And you're at what college?
CGU.
CGU is.
Claremont Graduate University.
Oh, that's. I like that school.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna hear her interpretation of her work. So everybody can get here. If everybody would come and listen to this artist, that would be great. Really interesting work she put together. And dealing with some heavy duty issues. Tell us about those issues. I think they're fantastic. I think a lot of people should hear about it.
Oh, thank you. So this was actually inspired by a conversation that I had with my best friend. We were drinking and it got to that point where real talk started to turn into hurt feelings. So true emotions turned into shit talking. So I wanted to make a piece about that. And instead of representing my best friend and I as portraits, I use semiotics. So it's like I always have the signifier without the signify. So the bottles are representations of him and I. Yeah. And like that was his actual bottle he was drinking, and that was the bottle I was drinking.
Oh, now that's better.
Yeah.
Go ahead, speak into it.
But yeah, that was. I can speak louder too if I need to. I can start yelling. It's fine.
Speak louder.
Okay, so, but yeah, like I've always been into semiotics and just trying to figure out a way on how to paint portraits without actually painting a figure. So this was my first attempt at that. Also airbrushing and spray painting I had always been into, so I taught myself how to airbrush. So some of the material on here is like actual airbrush, and I use the actual foil from the Modelo bottles and like the caps and everything. So I just wanted to encompass like our relationship in these pieces.
They're fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Kind of, like maybe 7, 8 years.
Tell us about your work and how you got inspired to do this.
My name is Gabriel Jerónimo. I started painting when I was in like 2013. I don't think it's on.
No?
And my paintings are about like tradition and how we hold it close to us. And my parents, like a lot of people are here, they're immigrants. And so when they came over here and I was born, they taught me about the traditions and culture where they come from. And we would go dancing, or we would go watch chinelos dance in Santa Ana. And that had always stuck with me. And I wanted to paint the chinelo and hold it like, how do I say it? I just wanted to paint a chinelo that represents my upbringing.
Well, I think you've done a great job at your great picture. But you know what I like about it is that you're telling stories. It's really important for you to tell those stories of your family. That means a lot to you, I can see. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Woo! Okay, so we're going to go to this photograph.
My name is Gia Hernandez.
Talk loud, talk loud.
My name is Gia Hernandez, and I'm a photographer. I started at 12 years old with a Polaroid camera, and I really love to photograph nature. Nature is a memory. It is, I come back to my childhood because when I was little, I spent years with my grandmother, and that's when I began to see the light. I began to see the light in the morning, to see the light in the day, and to see the afternoon light. That's when I began to study photography. I feel like, oh, you know, this is me. I wanted to do it. I want to.
Doesn't work. Just talk loud.
I want to do that. I want to bring my childhood to the present. So it really makes me happy to take photographs. I just went to Sierra Madre Occidental, and believe me, it was amazing. I'm so tired and exhausted, but Mexico is so beautiful. I invite them, all of you, to enjoy my country. Thank you.
Gracias.
Is there anybody else in here who is, okay, but you're the photographer, right? No. Right over there. Okay, and you too. Where are you? Okay, let's start with him. Well, this is very interesting. I thought that was interesting when I saw your name.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mira
que mexicanote se ve, ¿eh? Así que you look like a real Mexicano.
Wow. I'm going to quote you forever.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Tell us about what inspired you to do this, what your background is.
Yeah.
And
so my name is Conan Zhao. I just came back from Atlanta, living in Atlanta for about 6 years, and I just moved back to LA. I quit my full-time job about 2 years ago to become a full-time artist. And at about this time, I'm at a point of my career when I'm considering to embark on a series of studies to depict different cultures' dancing art forms. And what I'm interested in particular is different dancers from different cultures in their mid-movement. And my focus would be on the quality of the brush strokes and the interaction and the harmony of the colors, and how I can depict that in an abstract way while having the representational aspect taking a backseat, where I'm just focusing on the shapes and the forms. This call for art, this exhibition came at a good time because I had just started this idea. And I decided to follow through, and I wanted to kind of take this opportunity to learn more about the Mexican culture and to, in particular, depict some of the Mexican dancers. And because of this open call, I actually started on a whole series of Mexican dancers. And this is the second painting that I finished, and planning to do a whole series of Mexican dancers just because of this opportunity.
well, thank you. It's fabulous. Great job. And I love the fact that you're an adopted Mexicano. Who's next? The photographer, the young woman. You. Tell us a little bit about your piece.
Hi, my name is Fernanda Polanco, and my piece is composed of two main objects in my life. First of all, it's the Angel of Independence, which represents the Bicentenary of Mexico's independence that is within my face, which represents my identity. And the second one that comes together with this piece is it's a bike wheel, which represents the symbol of the vehicle that has guided me throughout my life because I'm a cyclist. I've been riding bikes and racing them over a decade throughout Mexico and throughout the many other countries. So having these two come together brings me it's an honor for me to be a Mexican and represent my country with this bike makes me proud of who I am and my roots.
Fabulous, Fernanda. De veras is fabulous, and it's great to see you start. But you're a bicyclist?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're basically an athlete.
Yes, I am.
And do photo on the side.
Yes, ma'am.
Fabulous. Oh my God. Well, you're just starting.
Thank you, ma'am.
Who's up here? There was another artist here. Where are you? Which is your piece? Madre Maguey. Now this has a whole story to it.
Yes, it does.
Tell the public.
So my name's Adriana. I'm originally from South Central LA. Thank you, Nina. During summers and winters, I would spend time here in LA, and then the other times I would be in Nayarit, Mexico, where my mom is from. And I grew up with the Mexican culture, but my family was not too supportive of art itself as a career. So I kind of ventured out on my own and did it myself. So I didn't really study it. I would just, in third grade, I enrolled myself into the art club in elementary school. And then from there, I just did my thing. So Madre Maguey, it's basically, my style is very pre-Hispanic art. So the story behind it is that the Mexica deity, Mayahuel, she was trying to escape because she was captured and the star demons had destroyed her and they killed her. So when she was buried, she was reborn as the first Maguey plant. And she is depicted, so that's her breast. And she has 400 children that are rabbits. The way I kind of incorporated with the Mexican independence is that just like Maguey, Mexicans, we're always pushed down, we're destroyed, we're buried, and we always come back as something new from the ground.
Fabulous. That was wonderful.
Amazing. Woo, 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 woo.
Who are you? Okay, anyone else in this room?
Cecilia
So where are you, Cecilia?
No, but the piece is on the other side.
No, okay, anybody in this room? Still in this room? Because it's a powerful piece. What do you want to tell people about this piece?
Well, the goal of my piece is to call to my country and to the people to be strong. Like yes, September 16th, we get Fremont, but basically we are keep looking still for Fremont for people that people can speak loud, Fremont for all like different like ethnias. So basically it's just I call to our culture to be strong and to resist, to be union, like Mexican. And so
That's it.
Thank you.
Mexico. In Mexico. I'm from Mexico. I came like for a short time.
¿Qué parte de México?
Nayarit.
Así que, ¿tú vienes aquí a estudiar o estás viviendo?
I'm living here. I came to work with like transfer program. So I'm working. I have a short period here for 6 months.
Great. Felicidades.
Thank you.
Gracias. Look at this.
Yeah, sharp dress.
Very important person is going to be the World Wall Director. Great Wall. I'm still working on that.
Wow.
You see how funny it is? Yeah, don't worry about that.
Okay.
¿Quién está aquí? ¿Hay alguien en este cuarto? ¿Is someone? Estoy sonriendo. Where are you?
That was mine.
Okay, you're the political one. Come on.
People with their artwork. Yeah, just call them and if you see someone with a...
Okay, the next artist is Dulce. Very cool. I want to hear this story behind you.
Sure.
Yeah. So tell us.
Okay. Bueno, buenas tardes. ¿Cómo están? Espero que estén. Muchas gracias por el espacio. Esta pieza se llama Pobres Mexicanos. Mi nombre es Dulce María López. Soy del sur de Jalisco. Soy de un pueblo que se llama Tolimán. Es una zona rural, principalmente agraria, que actualmente está sufriendo tala de árboles, una explotación horrible de agua y de recursos laborales. Y por ende es uno de los pueblos con más alta migración del sur de Jalisco. Entonces, yo creciendo ahí en esa área, pues nacida ya llego a Estados Unidos y la forma más fácil para mí de comunicarme al no tener el comprendimiento del inglés era por medio del arte. Entonces, estudié en la Universidad de Berkeley, en la Universidad de California, Berkeley, UC Berkeley. Estudié medios de comunicación y arte, en donde empecé a tomar este gusto por el arte de político y con un mensaje social. Y porque después de todo, si el arte para mí era mi forma de comunicarme, es la forma más fácil para mí de atravesar fronteras, de atravesar lenguajes, de atravesar formas de culturas y que te das cuenta que es un problema que también existe en otros países. Entonces, esta pieza la hice como hace algunos 4 o 5 años, en el tiempo cuando estaba Enrique Peña Nieto todavía al poder, y es bastante interesante o quizás hasta decepcionante pensar que muchos de estos problemas todavía persisten. Y pues la idea era de una frase de Octavio Paz que dice: pobres mexicanos que cada 15 de septiembre gritan por un espacio de 1 hora, quizás para callar por el resto del año. Y aquí pues en aquel entonces todavía yo estaba en la universidad, desde el Palacio Nacional, irónicamente alguien está gritando "Viva México", cuando está toda nuestra sociedad mexicana desmoronándose, viéndolo desde lejos de este palacio donde tienen el lujo de sentirlo como una celebración, y se están cayendo hacia los problemas económicos, hacia los problemas de la guerra contra el narco, de un gran asesinato de periodistas que hay actualmente en México. Entonces, más que nada, mi pieza plantea la idea de qué es lo que realmente estamos celebrando, de quién somos independientes realmente. Somos independientes de verdad en un gobierno, somos independientes de verdad como seres humanos. Está el pueblo de México pudiendo alcanzar ser tan libres como ellos quieren, tomando en cuenta todos los femicidios y todo lo que está sucediendo con periodistas.
Entonces es bastante interesante. Cuando vi la convocatoria, yo hace tiempo había puesto estos postes alrededor del consulado con compañeras que estaban aquí y me los bajaron. Entonces es bastante bonito verlo ahora aquí y tomar ese espacio y esta oportunidad para platicarles que hay mucha gente también que está interesada de ver un cambio, si es por el arte, si es por las canciones, y que en el sur de Jalisco también habemos gente que estamos aquí debido a problemas económicos, a problemas de explotación de tierra, y que hay que pensar en eso, cómo desde Estados Unidos podemos hacer un cambio y un esfuerzo por a nuestra gente que quedó todavía de aquel lado de la frontera.
La próxima que va a entrar al Congreso.
Si quieren saber también más sobre mi trabajo de arte, pueden buscar en www.dulcemarialopez.com, donde también pueden encontrar mercancía y todo ese dinero que se junta son para proyectos comunitarios. Mi arte no es solamente el dar un mensaje, sino que de verdad usarlos para hacer proyectos comunitarios. El último proyecto que hice fue un mural en una zona rural que está en mi zona, que estamos olvidados de verdad de todo esfuerzo, desgraciadamente. Y se hizo el primer mural que se había visto en esa área. Nunca la gente se había tenido ese acercamiento a nuestra historia y tomar orgullo de que también ahí existe vida y también tenemos esperanzas y también tenemos sueños.
Dinos otra vez qué es el
hilo. Es dulcemarialopez.com.
Oye, Dulce María. Viva,
gracias.
Vamos a seguir trabajando y platicando.
Hacia una verdadera independencia.
Sí. Gracias. Hay otro artista en este cuarto de esta sala. No, porque estamos esperando a Margarita García.
Hay muchos artistas todavía llegando, mucha gente que quiere estar aquí en la exhibición 35x35. Creo que ya tuvimos un buen conocimiento del arte que nos presentan los artistas emergentes visuales en Los Ángeles. Muchas gracias a Canal 22 por acompañarnos siempre en nuestras transmisiones. Hasta pronto.